Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Vaughn Ramones. I am an event planner and owner of Lovely Events by Vaughn, where we help you keep calm, stay lovely, and party on. Today we're talking about proper etiquette for sending a holiday greeting card. Holiday greeting cards, they are something that a lot of family do's, something that a lot of family does. I think that um, a lot of us are kind of getting away from that. Um, I don't know if it's like, people are just not interested anymore, or they're not finding the time. I know for us, we can never find the time to get pictures done for Olivia. So the time and actually, hey Cara, I know you do greeting cards, so I'm excited to see what you came up with this year. So yeah, so a lot of families, for us, like I said, it was a time issue, and plus, if you're bringing your kid to, we used to do. I know my sister-in-law does Target Studios, but I think they're not around anymore. I think it's just J.C. Penney. I think they're the same company. For us, it was a lot of the times it was just so stressful because you have to find like the best time to go around nap time, around lunchtime or dinner time, whenever you decide to go. It was just really, really hectic. So I didn't really like doing that. And with Ethan, I haven't even had professional pictures done yet. I'm a little behind. It's fine. It's fine. But it is the season for holiday greeting cards, and whether you're sending one or receiving one or both, there's some etiquette that goes along with it, believe it or not. So, a couple of things, a couple of ways that you can make these cards. You can make them online. You can take the pictures on your own, which is something that I'm going to start doing to save money and to save stress. Especially now with two kids. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm not gonna go into a studio. Maybe if I have like a photographer do it for us and we're outside or something, then yes, I'll do that. But going to a studio is just not for me. Too stressful. You can go to a studio or have a freelance photographer take the pictures, have them create the cards, or you can send them through email or text. I know that sounds a little strange, but nowadays that is a common thing, especially when we communicate so much through emails and through text messages. So, some pros and cons of printed versus email or electronic. If you interact with someone mostly through email or text, then an electronic card might work best for you in this case, especially if it's someone that lives far. I can't talk today. Especially if it's someone that lives far away, then that might be a good way to do it. For relatives and close friends, you can send a printed card. To save money on stamps, that's another pro to sending them electronically. And also, you can do both. So you can send them electronically, and then you can also print them out and mail them. That's totally fine too. Um, the cons would be, oh, one of the pros, by the way, before I forget, is a lot of our communication, like I said earlier, about 80%, I think I read somewhere, about 80% of our communication is done electronically. So they'll definitely receive it, especially if you send it through email or text. And if it's someone that uses their email quite often, then they'll definitely receive it. Some cons, it can get lost. Through email. So whether it goes in spam or whether they get a lot of emails, like I have like almost 3,000 unread emails. I'm just not going to go through those. I go through the ones that I get recently, and then that's it. I really have to do something about that. Luckily, it's my personal email, not my work email. I have those separately. So with my work email, it's a lot more manageable, but they can get lost through email. But another con is that if you send them through mail, they can also get lost in the mail, especially if you don't send them out early enough. So that's one thing that we should do. And also with the inclement weather, especially if you live here in New England, you never know. So they may get really, really lost. But another thing is that it's okay to remove someone from your Christmas card list. Usually it's done when usually you send out the Christmas cards when you don't see someone during the holiday season. So that's a good way to be like, hey, this is what we're up to. Look at the kids, how big they are now. You know, that's a good way. Um, to save money on these, if you're printing them out, then try not to send them to like the schools and your neighbors and work, things like that. Especially with work, I know I used to get them at work, just people handing them out, and that's totally fine. But you can also send them through email. So through your work, for your coworkers, you can send them through email, especially if you work in an office environment. That's not such a bad idea, and it'll save you some money. How to sign the card. So usually all of the names of the family members are on there, and usually you'll have the parents, or start with dad, then mom, and then the kids in order of age. So usually from oldest to youngest. So when you don't have to include the kids is when they are already moved out. If they're graduated from college, if they're married themselves, then you don't have to send them. For blended families, usually you'll have the parents and the step parents on the first line, and then a second line with the kids in order of age. And you can, with the blended family, it gets a little tricky with the last names. So you can, I would suggest just to leave them out, but if you choose to put them in there, you can put them in there. And I would still keep it from oldest to youngest on there. Personalize even the envelope. So this means don't use, or try not to use, address labels, because they're not really warm and fuzzy, you know. So it's kind of nice to receive something. If you're sending out a lot of them, then it kind of stinks, but take the time to address them yourself. A handwritten note inside, something personalized. And photo cards are great. That's something that is very trendy nowadays. The only con to that is that there's not a lot of room for a personal note. But of course, you can, if you pick the right picture, you can, or even a border, you can have a border and then have a personal message on the bottom there, or even on the picture itself, maybe towards the background or something where it's not over the family. You can do it that way. It's all about picking the right picture. So when you mail these out, you want to try to get them out, or people will start receiving them before, or during December 1st and December 26th. After that, it's really kind of like a Happy New Year kind of card. So you might want to think about when you want to send them out. So if you want them to be received during, before Christmas Day, then try ordering them 1 to 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. That'll give you time, you know, to pick the right picture, to get your list going and stuff like that. And then you want to send them out 2 to 3 weeks before Christmas Day. After the 3 weeks, like I said, it becomes more of a Happy New Year card, but that's okay. So these people will probably receive them between December 26th to like the end of the second week of January. So I would think about the greeting that you want in there. So if you're planning to send them out, then maybe have a Happy New Year kind of message. If you're doing it before, then definitely a holiday message. Your design. So when you're designing these by yourself, or even if you're getting a studio or photographer to do it, first you pick the perfect photo. So if you're planning to do just a photo card, try to get something with a nice background where it's okay to write over it. You know, you can even do it on there. I know it's not handwritten, but you can still do it. There are some cards, I know I did this about 2 years ago, where it was from minted.com, and it was a photo card, but on the back it was blank. So you can do those and then write your message on the back. That's totally fine too. You want to pick your design after that. Usually Shutterfly.com will have them. Walmart.com would be less expensive, and even CVS too, if you look into that, in Walgreens. Look into those. And then probably a 5x7 is the standard. So you definitely want to pick that one. For the decide on the, decide on who's on your list. So it's kind of like when you're preparing an event, you want to make your list of who you're going to send these cards to. And then mail your cards. So some fun trends are the e-cards. Some people do baby announcements on those. So if they're pregnant and they haven't announced yet, they wait for this time of year. So that's kind of nice to send out at that point. A holiday newsletter, which is something, I haven't gotten a holiday newsletter, but it's kind of cool, especially if you have family that live far away and you haven't seen them in a while. Then a holiday newsletter is pretty cool because you can add things about what everybody in the family is doing, how everyone, what's new, and if you just had a baby, then you can put all their measurements on there. So that's kind of nice. And then the photo cards, that's another one. It's been around for a while, but they're just really they're just really not going away, it looks like, which is totally fine. I love photo cards. So yes, so those are my tips. And Jasmine, I see you. So yes, 210 events. Jasmine Lopez. She is, she's a Jill of all trades. So if worse comes to worse and you're running really, really behind, then she can do the cards for you, digital download. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jasmine. Put your info in there. So she does the digital download. She'll send it to you, and then all you have to do is print them out. And that also can save you a lot of time, and it's definitely stress-free. And if you still need a picture done, she also takes, she's also a photographer, so you can have her do all of that. So thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I have for today. If you have any tips, tricks, suggestions of your own, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. Cara, I know you do your own greeting cards, so definitely post your best tips on there. Jasmine, feel free to put your info in there because I know you do this type of stuff, girl. So get it in there. Ethan is waking up now, so I have to go. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you all later. Bye.